Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Conway, and yeah, subscribe, like, comment down below. Let's get right into the game, or the visual novel, whatever. You walk up to him. Alright, oh, this is gonna be awkward. But there's a fine baddie beside him. Plot twist, they're husband and wife. That would be... Don't be oh shit, that's awkward. Maybe I should just talk to Julian and the gang. Yeah. And Samuel. Yep. Okay. As you get closer, you realize the first mate's forward slump is also letting him engage in a conversation with a smaller member of the crew. Well, smaller compared to him. The cheetah is still quite a bit taller than you are. Her voice, what the fuck? Authoritative. No, I said that correctly. Authoritative but soft. Her eyes are piercing blue. Her body slender. Smash. She's leaning against the wood, propping herself up to steady her balance against the movements of the ship. A week? Most likely. With some luck, a couple days earlier, but I wouldn't push things too far. The fact he's able to keep his arm at all is a hair's width shy of a miracle. Or maybe the miracle was delaying the infection until we made port. Either way, here's my professional advice. I'd rather not bet on being lucky all the time. The cheetah's voice is soft-spoken and deliberate. A slight accent or tone betrays that she must be from somewhere you're not familiar with. The officer frowns, deep furrows developing around his eyes. I told him that we were in no hurry. Accidents happen, officer. I know, it's not my first week. But ideally you'd want to avoid them. The officer stops, clearly mulling a decision over in his head. But as he takes his eyes off his conversation partner, he finally notices you standing there waiting, listening in. Oh god. Oh no, we're gonna get chewed out. Why do we pick this option? Why? His eyes narrow. Something the matter, recruit? His tone and attitude make you second guess yourself. What's the plan here? What were you thinking exactly? You waltz up to a superior you've barely spoken a few sentences to since you came on board. You better have a good reason for it. We can't really these two wanted to sit along for dinner. I guess what with dinner going on, I just wanted to ask if I could sit down for it alongside you. The furrows on Arthur's faces appeared. His head slowly tilts, the stern expression dissolving to a subtle hint of surprise. Sit down for dinner? You nod sheepishly? Oh god, don't do that. You're a big dude. Arthur steps forward, turning to face you fully. Sit down. For dinner. Oh no. Oh god. Oh god, he's gonna throw me overboard, isn't he? He's gonna make me freaking clean this ship thrice in a day. The officer rolls each word over his tongue as if tasting an expensive wine. His expression is hard to decipher, somewhere between confused, angry, and delighted. The ambiguity doesn't last long. Sit down for dinner. Sit down for dinner with me. Oh god, man, this is so awkward. Yes. The woman next to him raises a hand to shield her eyes, trying to look anywhere but at the two of you. Well then, why not invite the captain while we're at it? I'm sorry? I bet you'd be excited to make his acquaintance. Oh, I just can't wait to hear the stories you share. Maybe you like your own cabin, How about that? Jesus, man. Wood creaks under his weight, each mocking line accompanied by a step forward. How about holding a proper ceremony, finding an officer's uniform? Should I inform the rest of the crew they're now taking orders from you? The confined space of the ship make him feel even bigger. God, this is so fucking awkward. The confined space of the ship make him feel even bigger than he's already. You know what? Props to the developer. Let's go with that. I did not expect that there would be a different, an actual reaction. Usually, they have a main storyline and they give you like 3-4 options, but it all doesn't diverge away from the main story. You know, maybe some reactions here and there, but not fully fleshed out. Is all what I'm saying. You shake your head fast. Oh god. No, sir. Arthur stays silent, staring daggers your way. You can tell he's expecting something more, but you have no idea what. Your brain races with potential additions, but you're too scared to commit to any of them. The first officer takes a slow, deep breath. His behavior might suggest an attempt at calming down, but his eyes imply a fantasy involving his rather large hands on your neck. For the love of one day. It hasn't even been one day yet. Jesus, man. Okay, what did we... Wait, go back. Go back a little bit. Go back a little bit. Let's see. I'm sorry, everyone. I'm going back. I guess I just wanted to talk. Fully captured for better or worse. Talk, and what could you possibly... Before he's able to finish his question, the woman he was speaking to cuts in. My apologies for the interruption, but could I borrow him, officer? Arthur's ears flick in her direction, a hint of confusion, curiosity, perhaps cracks the stone-like facade of his face. Borrow? I'm afraid I need someone to help with Mr. Blackborough. The first officer snorts. You have an entire ship's worth of more experienced sailors at your disposal. The woman shrugs her shoulders dismissively in response. I just need another pair of hands. He's right here. He wants to be around even longer. Might as well take advantage of a lucky coincidence, no? Interesting. Wow, okay, that's actually super different. Okay, Arthur crosses and more. You know what? Clap, clap, clap. Arthur crosses his arms. His displeasure is evident, but so is his respect for the woman. Are you sure about this, Doc? I can have any other sailor ready for the task in less than 5 minutes. That's a palpable sense of awkwardness in your current predicament that neither of them seem to share. They may be used to this type of situation, but you're feeling slightly uncomfortable. You're not used to other people discussing your worth right in front of you, as if you weren't there. Officer, I need a pair of hands. Their provenance is irrelevant. He's qualified as long as he can follow instructions and stand still. I can vouch for the latter, that's for sure. Then I might be able to vouch for the former once we're done. He looks at you intently for a few seconds, his face impenetrable but not particularly friendly. At last, he nods. Very well, I trust your judgment, Doc. You heard her, let's go. We can talk when we're there. Now I'm curious about the other options. We could either go with them or sit with Lone Wolf, or sit with Samuel and Julian, you know, the scaly and the mean wolf. You follow them until you're out of the common area, stairs leading you deeper inside the bowels of the ship. Officer, had I known you were planning to tag along, I wouldn't have asked for help. I'm not going to stay. I have other duties to take care of this evening. I'm making time to assess Mr. Blackborough's health, an official confirmation that the treatment is working. Regia, how confident are you about it, really? He should be fine. It's an infection, we have options to treat it, but there's always a level of randomness to account for. So far, we've been lucky, but that's not something I want to rely on. The two of them walk ahead of you, continuing the conversation as if you weren't there. That's part of being a crew, you think? You exist when an officer needs you to exist, otherwise you're the equivalent of a plank of wood. Piece of the ship, part of the crew. Necessary in numbers but insignificant in identity. And yet it's all that wood that makes things float. There's something oddly comforting about the thought. Your train of thoughts is interrupted by Arthur having to slow down and duck under the low ceiling. The woman may be tall, but Arthur has her beat by a whole order of magnitude in the height department. Is he conscious? He was when I left him, but I recommended he try to sleep. He needs rest. Although waking him up shouldn't be an issue. Excuse me, but what happened? Oh god, here we go again. Mr. Tidy Whitey Pants, a stick up his ass. Arthur looks back at you over his shoulder. Mr. Blackborough's arm got caught between chain links. Yikes! That's not a pretty sight. The force tore the flesh straight off. You mean his arm is still where it should and not missing as much as I feared, but it could have been very, very much worse. I'm thankful that it wasn't. Mr. Blackborough is a good sailor, but he needs to learn that speed must be secondary to the safety of the crew. Arthur takes his lead down the stairs to the lower deck, wood creaking under every step. The environment down here is darker still and entirely devoid of noise. No lamps, and what little natural light comes in from the upper deck isn't enough to force back the overwhelming darkness. The ambience of a crew happily getting ready for dinner is muffled by the boards above. Regia grabs one of the lamps. She clearly has no intention of dealing with another accident. Oh, officer? Yes? I wanted to apologize for earlier today. When I got in the way during loading, I mean. I should have paid more attention to my surroundings. Arthur stops. Does the same once she hears a footsteps halt behind her. Your apology is accepted. But you do well to remember that at sea, there are things apologies can't fix. Consider as an example the guy we're about to see. There's always a cost to carelessness. The difference being Mr. Blackborough was rushing when there was no need for it. You were dawdling, loitering, lollygagging. Jeez, man, get this horse off of my back. Which kind of makes no sense, but hey, that is why I think you're a wimp, recruit. You gulp, and I did not think I needed to explain this, but apparently I was wrong. I do, however, welcome honesty. In fact, I've acquired it. Knowing when to swallow your pride is a prerequisite for a sailor. I'm glad that at the minimum you can check that virtue off the list. But to my eyes, you're a wimp, and you'll keep being a wimp until I've given solid proof to the contrary. Are we clear on that? Yes, sir. Why would he say yes? For me, I'd be like, yes and no. Ooh, who's a wimp now, huh? Good. But then again, he's the kind of guy that's like, no, you gotta follow my orders. Well, the moment you get on a ship, you are a privateer in that sense, and or maybe an engineer. In the current day, modern standards, engineer, cleaning crew, kitchen crew. You're part of the crew of some department. The officer turns around and continues walking and ignoring you. The two of you catch up with Regia, and soon after make it to the door you must be after. Before we get to it, may I ask for your name? I'm James. James Kelly. I could be brown, I could be blue, I could be violet sky, I could be heartful, I could be purple, I could be anything you like. I think that's what that music that's from Grace Kelly by Mika. A pleasure. I'm Regia Al-Maghribi. Or Al-Maghribi. It's gotta be Ribi. Is it Ribi? Like Habibi? The cheetah then looks toward Arthur and he nods. The doctor pushes down the handle, the wooden door creaks open, light from her lamp slowly seeping to the room. You should thank the doctor. Breaking rank to ask for a chat with your superiors is... It's not the kind of boldness that's rewarded with a long and fruitful career. Wouldn't have happened on a Navy vessel. Let me guess, this man was originally from a Navy vessel, huh? This ship isn't part of the Navy, officer. And that's why he's not on deck getting 10 whips. Arthur lowers his head to pass through a door, much too small for an officer of his size. The cheetah chuckles and follows suit. After a second, you enter the room as well. It reminds me of Kafka, the horse from Beastars. Regia's lamp floods the room with a nice warm light enough to navigate it easily. The room is fairly furnished for a ship. You can make out cabinets, a table, a couple chairs. There's a pen and paper on the table, and you spot an open letter too. You can't make out any words. There's bottles of medicines as well, at least what you assume to be, and some sparse books strewn around the place. As you get closer to the table, you recognize that label on one of the bottles, whiskey, half empty. You make your way to the opposite side of the room where the two are huddled around a bed. In it rests a bundle of sheets and shapes that take a few seconds for your eyes to recognize. It's a jackal, buried under a blanket. That's Mr. Blackborough, I presume. Or is it Borrow? Is it Borrow? No, it makes no sense. Regia nods, her eyes darting back and forth over the figure below. Mr. Blackborough? No response. Pives, are you awake? I need to take a look at the wound. Nothing. Is he out cold? Is it bad? No, he's just sleeping. He emptied a good chunk of the bottle. Regia weaves past you and steps over to one of the cabinets. She opens its doors, taking out a few items and laying them on what free space remains on the table. More clanging. I thought this guy was about to fuck off, man. This is freaking Arthur, freaking Mr. freaking Commander. I'll make a man out of you over here. More clanging fills the room as she organizes the table, clearing away the paper and books to make room for whatever item she actually needs. The sound of steering coming from the bed makes you jump, but you welcome it excitedly nonetheless. Mr. Blackborough, are you awake? The man groans in response. He struggles to pull his right arm out from under the sheets, bringing his hand to his head. Yes? Appears the sort to have to wake you up, but I would need to have a look at the wound. Mr. Blackborough, welcome back to the land of the living. How are you feeling? Like dog shit. Might be the injury. Might be the whiskey. I don't know. Might be the fact it's wearing off. Both, I'd argue. The man doesn't reply. He nods slowly, still lying in bed. Regia rests her palm on his head for a moment. Fever still present. She then carefully peels away the blanket from his torso. A soft escaping through her closed lips. Sir, what's the time? Almost nightfall. Fuck, did I miss? Easy, Mr. Blackborough. I'll make sure you're going to be fed when we're done here. Thank you. Could eat a horse. No offense, sir. None taken. Regia rolls up the blanket, revealing the extent of the man's injuries. He can't make out much beneath the tight layers of white bandages which cover the lower half of his left arm. Let me check this out. No, it's not censored. It's just like out of like a bit out of focus. Here's this is Mr. Kelly. He will be assisting me today. You step out from behind the other two. You wave your hand awkwardly, feeling like an uninvited guest at a family reunion. All right, let me see that. It did. Yeah, that would absolutely cause an infection. That fucking massive wound right there. Oh man. Who's that? New recruit. We've had some open spots to replenish before departure. Barely on board and ready as surgeon's assistant. Oh, he's good. Arthur snorts loudly and deliberately. No, I just needed someone to stand there and look pretty. His role in this is sheer coincidence. Fair enough. Hard to mess that up. You fold your ears down, unsure what you're even here for. The jackal cackles. Doctor, are you certain the whiskey has worn off? If it hasn't, it's going to very soon. As Regia unwraps the bandages, you notice that the deeper she goes, the more the cloth takes a shade of pink. Last call. If you can't stomach seeing blood, this is your chance to look away. You shake your head, keeping your eyes on the wound. You watch as she carefully peels off the last layer. The wound isn't as large as you feared, but you could easily fit a finger inside the gash. 2, you think as the doctor slowly reveals more of the naked flesh, maybe 3 even. It's looking better at least. You can take your mind off of that. You'll have to take Regia's word for it. It doesn't take a surgeon to notice colors and liquids in that gap that should be nowhere near a healthy person's insides, but she sounds genuine. The water under the table, please. You spring into action and bend down, searching for a glass bottle and finding it stashed away next to one of the chairs. You open it and place it down right next to her. Thank you. What's your official assessment, doctor? Is it healing well? Regia's answer comes with her eyes locked in the wound. Well, might be a bit of a strong word, sir. But it's starting to look better than before. You're going to have to be more formal than that, doc. Okay, we're keeping our fingers crossed and hoping it keeps progressing this way. If it does, it's going to be fine. If it doesn't, well... chop off that arm and cauterize it. You didn't realize you were holding your breath until you noticed yourself suddenly exhaling at her conclusion. We should have started treatment way sooner, but no use crying over spilt milk. What's done is done. That's good news. It's good news, right? It is. It's clear that Mr. Blackborough isn't enjoying the procedure. Is it because I censored it? Or maybe no. I don't know. His lips can't stop the occasional hiss or grunt of pain from escaping. Wait, I'm curious. No, blood and injuries are on. Yeah, so if there are anything like bloody hell's going on here, well, yeah. No matter how hard he attempts to keep a stone-faced expression, his lips can't stop the occasional hiss or grunt of pain from escaping. Funny enough, while recording this, well, I'm recording this right now, but last night, I stubbed my toe on a big fucking rock. Well, like, coming from a convenience store. Yes, there's roads in the Philippines, of course, but they're not perfect. They're either unsteady or there's no sidewalks at the time yet. Maybe 10 years from now. But for now, there are no sidewalks, so what you can stub your fucking toe real quick. Thankfully, it was a rock. It was not metallic in nature, because if it was something like metal or rebar, well, that's rusty and I need to get a tetanus shot. And let me tell you, that ain't nice. The cheetah works diligently, punctuating his reactions with splashes of water. She makes cleanup look easy, but there's certain all of her movements are carefully and expertly planned. Suddenly, Arthur breaks the silence. That's enough for me. As I have other matters to attend to, I'll leave the rest of this situation in your hands. Mr. Blackborough, Doctor, Wimp. He accompanies each name and epithet with a nod. Regia nods back, while Pierce gives a subtle salute in response. You mirror it. Arthur bends down, leaves through the cabin's door. It closes behind him with a loud clack. leaving the three of you to the task at hand. Wimp? Regia shakes her head. Can't say I was there when he earned that title. I may not have made the best first impression earlier today. Your voice is quiet, not wanting to draw further attention to her failures. Might have stood in the way of the crane when I stumbled around the harbor looking for the ship. Like a fool. Oh yeah, that'll get old Arthur riled up. I hope it won't hang over my head for too long. It's not exactly the start I'd imagined. Don't worry, some of the best— Careful, Doctor. I'm being as careful as I can be. I know, sorry. But yeah, some of the best crew have started with mishaps. With him, you're as good as your last day, and if you do well, he'll leave you alone. Just make him think you fixed whatever problem you had. That's a trick. That's my main worry. I haven't exactly got a lot of experience in— Then you better get around to gaining it, no? And fast. Sorry to interrupt, Mr. Kelly. I need the little green bottle. You turn back towards the table, examining the glassware. It's hard to tell in the dim light, but you spot a light green bottle on the left side, and one in the middle, and a third behind the first. You lift the rightmost one from the table to show her. This one? No, that one there. On the left. Another attempt. This time she nods approvingly, so you take the bottle over to the bed. What's in it? The liquid? A mixture of water and silver. Oh, oh yeah, I keep forgetting. We're back in the good old days, my man. When was this? Was this like 1791? Is that what I'm getting? Oh, that makes sense. Wait, silver? Shiny? Extremely expensive? Yes. Only the best were dedicated and conscientious member of the crew. Oh, I'm touched, Doctor. Reggio holds the bottle in front of the lamp, checking its content against the light. It's smart. They don't have penicillin back then, or antibiotics, I guess. Which, I mean, it's technically a recent invention, or no, a recent discovery. You know, antibiotics. Yeah, now when I think about it, yeah, actually, yeah. It's not like 1,000 years has passed. No. Holds the bottle, checking its contents against the light. It's small enough for her to hold it in one hand. It is very diluted. Well, there goes my romantic portrait of life on the ship. Could have left me in the dark. We got what helps. Is that not enough? More than enough, I'd say. She applies the mixture to his wound with the same care as before. Mr. Blackbauer reacts with the same forcefully suppressed grunts. Same thing when I was like... Also last night, right? Last night, it was I'd say, 1/3 of the nation almost 1/3. Parts of Luzon, let's go with that, mainland Philippines, had a blackout. A good 7 to 9 hours. Yep. So that's why I stubbed my toe. Usually there'd be lights everywhere in the street. But there wasn't a time, and I was like, ah, shit. You know, at the same time, the heat and humidity, especially the humidity in the Philippines, man, what the fuck? Burning, let me tell you. 30 Celsius at night? What the heck? I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. I don't know, somebody calculate that. The rest is just redressing, which Ragia does with consummate experience. And mostly clean bandages. Once the doctor seems to have completed her operation, she stashes the dirty piece of cloth in the corner of the cabin before gesturing to Mr. Blackborough. He's free to get back under his blanket. And we are done, as usual, to keep the arm as still as possible and avoid any unnecessary movement in general. Mr. Kelly, thank you for assistance. Well, I'm glad I could help. He suppressed a smile. Mr. Kelly sure sounds better than Wimp. Mr. Blackborough, we'll be meeting again tomorrow for another check. I'll see. I think Wimp... Was that the meaning of Wimp back in the day? Like, foolish, I guess? Another check. I'll see that someone brings dinner down here as soon as I'm able to. Thank you, Doctor. Wouldn't want to escape maiming just to end up starving in a bed right below the galley. I mean, thank you. I appreciate it. With the job done and things tidied up, the two of you leave Pierce to his rest. Good job. Thanks, but why did you want me to help you anyway? Didn't you have a surgeon's mate? I do, but he'd already disappeared for dinner. And you? Well, you were right there, that's all. While the two of you walk back to the stairs, it's a slower and more careful trek, as the doctor's lamp was left in the room with Mr. Blackborough intentionally, you assume. She doesn't seem to have any trouble navigating the dark corridors. She's a cheetah. You hold your head out to the wall as caution, following behind at the short distances. Soon you reach the stairs. I should get cleaned up, and you should hurry back to the common area before Bandle packs away his pots. They won't wait for you. As soon as you hear that, you grab the banister and swing yourself upward with gusto, stumbling over the steps but quickly catching up with her. Regia chuckles in response. Sorry, just really hungry. You both exit the stairs, being led back out again into the common area. The sounds of other people chatting and playing cards, along with the sparse few still eating dinner, fill the space again. The two of you cross the open space, past the makeshift common area and past all the tables and crates populated by the crew. The atmosphere is jovial, but you can tell by the tone of people conversing that the evening is starting to wind down. Worried about the status of your dinner, you hasten your step, eyes fixed on the cook's location, only to get stopped in your tracks by an arm popping out of some sailors huddled around the table. You turn to your side and find yourself staring down at a certain lizard. Hey James, where have you been? You point at Regia, who's already several steps ahead of you. I was asked to help. I'll be right back. I'm just going to go grab dinner. You don't leave Julian enough time to formulate a reply or an objection. You shove his arm aside and march your way to the cook just as Regia disappears off somewhere with two plates. You don't particularly care about what's in it, only that it's particularly full. You thank the cook, Bandle, and make your way back, already nibbling on some of the bread. I think it can go both ways. Bandle, Bandile, or Bandele. All three ways, I guess. As you return to Julian's table, you realize he and Samuel by his side have been watching you over their shoulders all this time. There are two other sailors with them, a lynx and a peregrine falcon. And our happy little family is complete at last. So tell me, oh prodigal son, what exactly made Vadia pick you out of the litter? Curiosity's devouring me. Ragia? She's the ship's surgeon. So do you know anything about medicine, James? You shrug and sit down with a group. No, not really. She just needed someone to fetch her a few things. I was around, that's all. Well, sounds like a good enough reason to me. You finally dig into the food. The salmon's great. Juicy. Flavorful. Garnished with things your brain doesn't fully register. I kinda like that they're all like blinking. Hunger makes it taste incredible, but it also makes it harder to stop and appreciate the details. You look up from your plate to notice the two other sailors staring at you, an amused look on their faces. Oh, sorry, that was rude of me. I'm James, it's a pleasure. Samuel stretches his long legs under the table with a pleased smirk. It's time for introductions. That's Conrad over here. And Torres on our, my left, your right, and to your most shocked surprise, are also members of the crew. Nice to meet you two. You reach across the table to shake hands with them. Torres goes for it first. So, another part of the new blood, eh? Torres, the pleasure's mine. Torres is polite and affable. Warm, smiling, well-groomed, perhaps exceedingly so, actually. Wait, he's the type of cat that grooms themselves a little bit too much. So the bright blue feathers in his hat feels it's a tad too much for a sailor. Or he's one. Wait, isn't that a predator cat? Well, I guess most cats are technically predators. It's the lynx's turn to offer you his hand. Unlike Taurus, his grip is firm and strong, almost to the point of discomfort. It's the grip of a sailor who is more familiar with ropes and wooden planks than people, and you are thankful once he decides to release your hand. Name's Conrad, boy, and that's a pleasure for me as well. Sam will tell us about your Elvia. You're not surprised when he introduces himself as the shipwright. He brushes along his beard, playing expertly with the three braids that split it in. He's roughly in his 40s, but his manners seem to project— oh, he is a licks, yeah. To project a mindset far beyond his age, and in the eyes of the others at the table, a high level of respect. For now, he seems happy to have you on board. Yeah, good stuff, I hope. The lynx nods. Naturally. Not a single word about asking questions you should already know the answer to. Nothing about hitting your head because you weren't paying attention there either. And not a whisper about how your big heart won't let a passenger go uncomforted even in the middle of your first day. So... he lied is what I'm hearing. The tufts on the tips of his ears wobble as he laughs heartily. His voice is deep but not cavernous, though you can't recall ever thinking of a laugh as reverberating before now. Oh, slander, of course. Well, isn't this a happy crew? Glad to see we're all getting along, and apologies for having to ruin the atmosphere. I must let you know, it's the morning watch for us tomorrow, which means it's a good idea to cut this party a little shorter than you might be used to. I prefer not to pick up your slack because you haven't had any rest. Granted, I can't order you to bed, but I also don't want your sailing career to start off with an official reprimand. Message received. I'll finish up my plate quickly first if you don't mind. I'm feeling rather tired anyway. You follow his advice and finish your meal before retiring to your hammock. The hammock does a good job catching the gentle rolling of the ship as the vessel forges its way through the night. You lay there taking in the calming sight of the dark wooden deck above you. As abrasive as Arthur was, you still feel you made some progress today. Well, one step back and one step forward, at least back to the starting line. You try to figure out if that's better or worse than not having move at all. But actually, not the fun fact, no. Still, it's still dangerous to work in ships. Even modern or not, you know, you get careless, you bump your head, you're knocked the fuck out. Remember, ships are usually made with like metallic properties now, so you know. But either way, you get bumped by a fucking wooden beam, you know, it's over. I'm just saying. And as you're immersed in those thoughts, the shroud of sleep falls on your face as well. Not the worst first day in this new chapter of your life. It was 1791. Still like 9 years, almost 10, I guess 10. I guess 100. Wait, 91, 100. 105 more years till the Spanish let go of its grip on the Philippines by selling it to the United States of America. A voice enters your surroundings from a realm beyond, resonating through space itself. You're talking to someone you know, but not really, whose face is strangely blurry whenever you look. Hey, it gets harder and harder to focus on the person. Your feet start to feel unsteady with the movement of the earth beneath you. Hey. Suddenly, the familiarity of the voice returns to your mind, and it is sucked into the here and now. It's not unstable ground you feel, but a sway of your hammer. Samuel. Right, you remember, that wonderful Maine wolf. The ship's interior emerges around you, you turn in your hammock and find Samuel waiting for you to wake up. What? Samuel? Hey! I'm awake, but you can hardly believe your eyes, nor can you stop them from wandering. Down his shoulder, the curve of his back, tail, rear. I wanted to wake you up before the others, he suggests. Spend a little more time with you. I said, hey, wake up. Light enters this world from the edge of her vision. In that instant, the barrier between the two worlds in your mind is broken. The desired world of your dream vanishes, replaced with yours, filled with nothing but the sight of a crudely woven hammock. You close your eyelids forcefully, not to fall asleep again, but to fight the yawn that is sure to follow. Despite your best efforts, you yawn anyway. Good morning. Hey Samuel. Is it time already? The Maine wolf leans against a structural pillar and watches you come to your senses in the hammock. It sure is. The 7th bell just rang, so we got about half an hour. I've also bought something to eat. It's nothing fancy, mind you. Bandles. It's gotta be Bandalis. No, it's Bandle. Come on. Or is it Bandile? Dial doesn't really... Band's not up this early, so leftovers it is. Slowly you get up in the hammock, careful to not bang your head on the beams above. Getting out of the hammock proves to be much easier than it was getting in, and you quickly find yourself with your paws firmly in the deck. You look tired. Didn't sleep well. You shake your head and take... Oh, what the fuck? You shake your head and take a piece of bread from the plate Samuel has brought. All is fine. It's nothing. Just a slow start. Samuel reaches down and breaks off a piece of the bread for himself. I getcha. I also haven't managed to wake up Wolf or Julian yet. Can you help with one of them? Thanks. Take some food with you for him. We gotta break the ice with Wolf. You know, like, what's up, my man? I ain't here to fight. I'm here to I'm kidding. This is not the type of game, I think. Sure. Where's he sleeping again? Just over there. One of them. Samuel points you to the hammocks on the other side of the deck. You do as he suggests. Take a piece of the bread and make your way over to it. In the end, it's no trouble to find him as you discover him to be in the process of getting up anyway. The deep black of his fur is one of a kind on the ship as far as you have seen. Oh, you're awake. First his ears swivel to you before his head follows. Yes? What is it? Nothing. I was told to wake you up, but it seems that is not necessary. I'm a light sleeper. Because he's a dog. No, I'm not even kidding. You pause in front of the hammock, unsure what to do with yourself until you remember the breakfast you're holding in your hand. You hold out the rather sad-looking ration for Wolf. I do have your breakfast too. The canine unties one side of the hammock and brings it over to stow it away for the day. I appreciate it. Give me a second here. Patiently, you continue to hold his breakfast while he's busy cleaning up his space. Perhaps you should have done the same. He pauses for a few seconds before he finishes strapping the hammock to the ship's hull. Slowly he turns to face you and takes his breakfast from your paws. He squeezes the piece of bread and watches the already hardening piece give way under the pressure. Stale bread. My favorite. Don't shoot the messenger. I didn't get anything else. Don't worry. I've had worse. Also, just letting you know, probably another 15 minutes or so before the morning shift starts. When the next bell rings. Got it. Thanks. You can tell Samuel that I'm up. I assume he sent you. There we go. Because we're already good with Julian. There's no need to like butter up with Julian. Unless there's some kind of info that I'm not aware of. Well done, Samuel. You're all looking ready. Arthur stands in front of you with his hands behind his back. He slowly gives each of you a quick visual inspection from head to toe. Of course. Since I didn't start you 3 yesterday, this will be your first shift. To give you a little time to settle in and get acclimatize. Acclimation? Acclimatize? Acclimatize? What the acclimate. I think I said that correctly the first part. You three will join Samuel in my larboard watch. We have 2 watches on the ship, so you'll follow the usual schedule of 4 hours on and 4 hours off. With the 2 dog watches from 1600 to 20, fucking what the hell, man? 1600 to 20, how do you say, 2000? 2000 hours. That's not, is that a thing? I don't think so. From 4 o'clock to 8, go for that. Dinner time. There we go. Simplify that. The 3 of you nod briefly at each point. I think, yeah, 2000 hours. Yeah, you've organized breakfast for them, I presume. Affirm, sir. Arthur nods in acknowledgement. We've had a quiet night. Course is ready for now. However, we may be required to tack with both watches at the end of the watch if the wind stays as it is. Should we be ready for that as well? Naturally. You can pull a sheet, or am I mistaken? Julian needs a second before he manages to answer. I can indeed, sir. There you go. If you can do it in the same rhythm as others, then there's nothing standing between you and a successful career, boy. With an exasperated sigh, he turns away from you and back to Samuel. What the fuck? What is this? This guy got a stick up his. He's got a wooden plank up his booty hole, man. He looks at me in size. What the hell? Some kind of tough love bullshit, man. That's all for now, though. Samuel, the main wolf takes a step forward. Yes, sir. You did well integrating them so far. You're free to keep them occupied as you see fit until someone requests a helping hand. That is all for now. Samuel straightens up and raises his hand in a brief salute to Arthur. Understood. Arthur nods in return and leaves their group to its own devices. Alright, you heard him. Not much excitement today, so we might as well get the annoying part out of the way while we can. It's swabbing, isn't it? Sure is. Nobody wants to do it while in port. Everyone's busy using their time on land and then unloading and loading the ships. Usually it's one of the first things we need to do after we leave. And as new guys, it shouldn't come as much of a surprise that you're the prime targets for it. And, well, by extension, me, I guess. Sorry about that. I'll gladly take some booze, if you want to make it up to me, of course. Noted. Samuel already prepares what you will need, with several holy stones and... Yeah, you know what? We owe this guy a couple booze, a couple glass bottles of booze, you know? He doesn't really need to be all this kind and shit for us. He could have just said, alright, you're gonna need this and that, find them. No, he prepared all of them already. Wow. This guy's locked in. With several holy stones and a few buckets of salt water at the ready. They gotta scrub that shit. We gotta... all the dirt and grime and shit and piss and salt and... whatever fucking scallywags on the wooden deck. He hands him out to each of you as the group makes its way to the front of the ship to get started. Not the worst thing to start the day with. Wolf says and tosses a piece of holy stone in the air as he walks up the steps of the forecastle. I'm still not feeling quite awake, so this is probably the extent of what I can deal with for now. With the first bucket being emptied, you begin your work. Your first real day. You're sure that'll become a chore soon enough, but for now, the sheer novelty of it makes it enjoyable. Simply spending time with the new people you've met. Each new side of the holy stone pushes a small wave of the salt water in front of it, and the water quickly begins to soak into the fabric around your knees. At first you try to avoid it and squat down in your paws, but eventually you just give in when it becomes too uncomfortable a position to scrub in. So, how did you end up helping her yesterday? You don't even realize that the question is directed at you and you continue working quietly. James? Me. Yes, of course, the cheetah from yesterday at dinner time. I already told you, she just needed me to hold a few things. Who is this about? Regia, she's our surgeon. We saw James with her yesterday. Tall cheetah, might have seen her before. Wolf shakes his head, not that I can remember. Yeah, just curious how you, out of all people, ended up helping her. But I saw Arthur and her during dinner time and I wanted to ask Arthur something. She needed help and I was there. That's really all there was to it. We went down to help some guy who was injured a little while ago. I was just holding supplies while she changed bandages. It really wasn't anything noteworthy. With Pevs, I assume. You nod as one after another. You resume your efforts to clean the deck. Yes, I think that was his name. How was he? Good under the circumstances. She mentioned things are looking better as we changed the bandages. At least Bears is doing well though. Was a bit dicey for a moment from what I heard. It did look pretty rough, but if she's confident in that, then that surely is a good sign. Samuel goes for the next bucket of water, his body nothing but a silhouette in your view against the bright sunlight. He empties it low to the deck and wets the next part of the deck for you, sending the water in a small wave across the wooden floor. Wolf finds himself right in the way of perhaps a too strong swing of the bucket. He tries to jump aside to avoid getting his breeches too drenched by it. He wouldn't exactly call his hop athletic. Did I say athletic? Am I high? Athletic ass. But he does successfully avoid the water. Even if it does send him tumbling backwards right into his backside. His fall is accompanied by a sound very unlike that made by a soft fleshy creature when it hits the deck. A light wooden pang as an object rolls across the soaked deck. It stops as it rolls against the skids of Julian's foot, finally giving a proper view of it. A fife, simply looking initially smoothly polished wood, but the ends of it are wrapped in brass with a bit of detail on them. Yours? Julian looks over the black hole beside him and reaches for the instrument. Yes, what's a fife? I'm checking that out. I guess it has to be. Isn't that one of the it's like one of those flutes? Six-fingered, like a tubed instrument in marching bands? I don't fucking know it. Yes, it's mine. You can play an instrument? Yes. Well, a bit. Why is that such a surprise? I didn't know it was forbidden to own an instrument. No, just Julian leans in a little closer to have a look at the instrument. No, it's not. I just didn't take it for the musically inclined type. Not going to lie to you, I did not expect it either, Wolf. Can you play something? Oh god, Wolf's expression immediately turns into easily the most terrified you've seen him. What? I'd rather not, to be honest. Oh come on, you can't just put it away without playing something for us. Just think of what a hot property you'd be on the ship if people knew you could play an instrument. And what makes you think that is what I would want? Alright, let's just move on, bastards. Okay, Wolf opens a pocket of his breeches where the fife fell out and puts it back inside. Not even something really brief, like a... You know, like a... As I said, I can only play a little. And certainly not in front of other people. Oh, come on, man, what the... No, I get it. I'm an introverted person as well. If I was in the ship, I'd be like... I can't really... I won't do that in front of you, man. Why did you bring it with you, then? I don't think you'll have many opportunities to play with it, without others hearing it around here. Someone gave it to me and I didn't want to leave it behind. Ah, a keepsake. I didn't bring it with the intention of playing it. However, she never had the chance to teach me. Oh no! Oh, whoops. All I've done so far is try to learn on my own. But if he's not up for it, then he's not up for it. Wolf nods respectfully back at... But if you ever change your mind about it... Unlikely, but I will let you know if that should happen. And you will all get your badly played 30-second long five concert. After the you know what? I guess we're all kind of getting along well. After the shock earlier, you now get another first. When you spot what can almost count as a smile on the black canine. Then just a moment later, he visibly tries to straighten his expression again. It's going to be a great 30 seconds, I'm sure. I never touched an instrument in my life, so anyone who can play anything appears like magic to me. Never even touched one. Nope, never. Have you? Of course, the 5'2" actually. It's small enough to hide, which comes in handy. You really never even touched one? He tilts his head to the side as he asks once again. No, Julian, do you know how expensive instruments are? Not everyone grows up like you. In fact, most don't, if your dad is as high ranking as you have made him sound. For many of us, we had to work to support the families we grew up in. I know I did, and James has mentioned his family's homestead. It doesn't leave a lot of time for leisurely fancies like instruments, not to mention finding someone to teach you in the first place. Oh, that's true. Doesn't sound like you grew up in a pretty privileged environment. Well, I guess I never thought of it that way. Julian thinks quietly for a moment. Well, why'd you have to hide then? Did you grow up in a house with unruly siblings? Always going after things and handling with the utter disregard for it that only siblings can? He snaps out of his contemplation and leans against the nearby railing. No, it was my father. He didn't approve of such unmanly things as making music. Immediately you feel a pang of guilt for that. Yeah, I was like, oh shit. Well, you know what, man? It's okay, man. It's just, let's just clean the deck. Get our food, I always wanted to play the violin instead, but you can't really stuff a violin in the hole of a tree trunk. A 5 is cheap enough that I was able to buy one with my own money without anyone noticing or asking about the money. And it's small enough to hide. It must look a bit awkward as he tried to find the right moment to speak up while Julian was talking. Well, I'm sorry, you had your own troubles, it sounds like. It wasn't my intention to belittle them. Julian returns a smile to you. It's alright. At least you managed to find a way to get around it. Hey, I'm liking this male bonding going on here. Speaking of which, could you not play something, Julian? I suppose I could if Wolf is fine with it. He turned around to Wolf to hear what he thinks of it. You can tell from his expression that he doesn't seem all too sure about it, because I think it's a keepsake, I'll be honest. Just for a minute? Fine. He reaches into the pocket on the side of his trousers and takes out the instrument. Here, just be careful with it. Julian takes the offered 5 and looks at it more closely. He turns it between his fingers to get a view of every side. Of course. It looks really nice. Well, you've taken good care of it. Wolf doesn't stop watching Julian for even a second, but some of the tension in his body appears to dissipate at the compliment. Of course. It certainly looks a lot nicer than the one I've got. They're simple instruments usually, so it's nice to see one with some detail. He let his claw run along one of the decorative lines, stamp into the metal. Every now and then the tip of it catches in the lines and is guided along them. Thank you. Oh, man, this is wholesome, man. What the fuck is this? After visual inspection, Julian raises the instrument to his mouth. He takes a breath and begins to blow over it gently. He tries 1 or 2 notes at first just to get a feel for it, all under the watchful eyes of the 3 of you. When he seems comfortable enough, he begins to play in earnest, fingers dancing along the length of the instrument. The tone is rather shrill at first, but he adjusts his playing until he manages to soften it. Immediately, the lizard appears to become one with the music he plays, finding the rhythm, and soon after a subtle sway goes through his whole body. Yo, turn that shiza up! Oh yeah, I'm feeling it. Ugh, disgusting, man. Damn, guy's good. You don't recognize the music he plays, but it was a more simple piece, something rather easier in the ear. Samuel catches your eye and nods respectfully. Apparently someone else who is quite impressed with some of the tricks Julian has hidden away. As promised though, he stops again after playing for a little while and hands the 5 back to Wolf. Not bad at all. Thank you. I agree, it sounds great. Julian laughs, trying to play down just how much he appears to drink in the praise level that is playing. Thank you, it's a silly marching song, but it's what you hear the most when you live in a fort. So I learned to play it after hearing it over and over again. Well, you're certainly ahead of what I'm able to do with it. Does that matter? The fact that you learn it at all is what counts. Julian says, probably finding the first non-confrontational words ever said. Wow, this is... Clap, clap, clap. Interesting. Especially if you have no one to teach you. Are you sure you don't want to play something? Wolf still holds into the instrument and must have been thinking about it for a moment, but decides to stash it away again. I'd rather not. If you can play, Julian, couldn't you teach him? Wolf's ears snap in your direction, and once again the anxiety from earlier returns across his features. If he's never had some... What? No! I probably could. What? Why not? You're going to have a lot of time to fill. So why not fill it with this? His eyebrows furrow and he hesitates for a moment. I think you're overestimating how much I would enjoy spending time with. Or rather, enduring time with. Really? I appreciate the kind words for wanting to help. I mean, have you actually stopped to listen to yourself when you're around him? Can't exactly blame Wolf for thinking that you'd be annoying as a teacher. Just because I'm joking around every now and then doesn't mean that I can't be serious when it's needed. Julian's tail slithers over the ground and curls around where he's sitting. And teaching him would be such a time. Yeah, but who's gonna believe it? Fine, fuck me, I guess. Nobody has to. I'm just making a genuine offer to help. All I'm saying is that it's understandable why he might be hesitant to take you up on it. Wolf speaks up with a hint of exasperation to his words. Or could you stop talking about me in the third person so that we can get this done here? He's got a point. Like, he's right there. We could just... Yeah. Someone already has an empty bucket ready to get more water from the sea. Okay, that's probably for the best. I feel like I have made a mistake for even suggesting it. You haven't. Slowly, Samuel drags the now-filled bucket up along the outside of the hull of the ship. Once it's back in his paws, it provides the rest of you with more water to soak the boards of the deck in. You feel the sting of salt water in your eye as a drop of it splashes up and hits you. You raise your hand to rub your eye and continue the work of scrubbing the deck of the ship. As time goes on and you slowly make your way across the deck, you find yourself working close to Wolf and out of earshot of the others. You really don't want to give him a chance. It takes a while before Wolf answers, but you can see that he's clearly thinking about your question as he works. With an almost defeated sigh, he stops and sits down to answer. What are you trying to accomplish here? Isn't that clear? You want to learn to play the instrument, Julian can play it. So much of a mystery about it, It clearly means something to you. Yes, but... He glances over to Julian, who just like you too, is scooting around on his knees and more or less diligently going after his task. But did you see how he played or when he looked at the fife? And? He loves it. Playing it and making music, I mean. He can be a bit of an idiot, sure, but I think he seriously would enjoy teaching someone. Again, what are you trying to achieve here? What are you afraid to lose? Damn! Oh! Take that... Without the fife, what are you, Mr. Wolf? Huh? Who would you be without it? The black canine remains silent and looks over to Julian once more. Just give it a go. Worst case, I'm wrong and you have to put up with him for 10 minutes before you've had enough. That's survivable, is it not? He rolls his eyes and goes back to work. After a few moments, you assume he's just doing the same old thing, trying to ignore you. But on closer inspection, you notice he looks rather deep in thought again. Maybe I could. Just don't make it the habit of trying to convince me, alright? You smile warmly and your tail flicks a little more animatedly behind you. Only when I think it's a good idea. Or did I try to push you to play it? Just what I feared. You're starting to assume you know what's best for me. Before you can respond, a call from Samuel draws your attention as the main wolf wants you to come over for a moment. You and Wolf do as you're told, and on your way, you spot another sailor talking to Samuel. Not someone you know, but as you get closer, you begin to be able to hear what they're talking about. Samuel! A voice calls out from the other end of the deck, loud but unintelligible over the background noise of the ocean. A sudden shout breaks through the relatively calm air on the deck. He calls out again as he approaches you, and the main wolf turns to face him. Who is this? Samuel, can you come with me for a moment? Samuel cocks his head slightly to the right, while raising the opposite brow in an inquisitive look. His ears now trained on the sailor as he draws close. What for? The mustard closes the last few meters between you before it stops abruptly with an unexpected grace for his size. I just need a pair of hands real quick. We notice the sheet is almost through and need someone to help patch it up. Well, Samuel looks back at you three for a second before turning back to face him. Well, I guess he'll manage without me for a sec. Alright, which one is it? Your ears perk up as you overhear the conversation. Something other than cleaning the deck? Maybe you can tag along with them. No, wait, we can't go visit yesterday's passenger and leave Wolf and Julian. That's fucked up. We're the three recruits. This game is crazy, man. Who to go, Cotton Eye Joe, let me tell you. But if we go visit the yesterday's passenger, we might get to smash. Bros before hoes. You heard him, I'll be right back. Keep doing what you're doing. If you need more water, just pull it up with the bucket I use. Got it. Just be careful not to let go of it. It's quite the harsh pull when it catches the water. And it's not easy to get it out again either. So just don't make a fool of yourself and end up empty-handed. We'll keep in mind. Keep it in mind, yes. Are you coming? Yes, don't rush so much. It's bloody morning. And so the three of you are left to yourselves as Samya follows the sailor across the deck of the ship. It sounded urgent. I wonder what's going on. Hopefully nothing major. Nothing as exciting as it sounds, I'd assume. You're not missing out. He stays focused on his work as he's trying to tell you that you should do the same. It doesn't have to be exciting, He looks over at you tiredly and you're not quite sure if it's the early hour of the day or you. That's the cause for his expression. Things on a ship are always wearing out. They'll just replace some things they'll do hundreds of times in the future. Just get on with it. Good question. If you replace every single part of the ship, is it still the same ship that originally was before? You focus on your work as you're told, every now and then glancing back aft of the ship, wondering if you should have asked to go with Samuel. It's just a spanker. Who's that? You pick up Wolf's snort of laughter, so quiet that you almost miss it. Julian grins and points towards the stern and the mess of rigging between you and the sky. The what? The big sail at the rear. Oh. I never knew it was called a spanker. I guess this ship is quite a bad boy. Oh god, yeah. You feel rather stupid not knowing something probably so obvious. However, Julian doesn't seem to mind. Peeking over your shoulder, you look at it and try to figure out just where the damage is on the sail. But it looks fine from here, doesn't it? It doesn't look worn at all. The main sheet is. You listened to them, didn't you? They mentioned it. Alright. You chuckled defensively? From what I heard though, they lengthened the boom on this ship a while ago. This ship wasn't designed for it. That's what my father said anyway. That sounds bad? It's safe. This means that the blocks weren't designed for that much sail and it wears out the sheet. But replacing things is just part of life at sea. And since we might need to tack later, they're probably in a rush to get that sorted out. You really know a lot about all this. Did you learn it from your father? Appears like it taught you a lot. A moment of silence settles between the two of you, and you realize that you may have sounded a bit too enthusiastic asking the question. You notice that his expression changes slightly, and feel the need to quickly append something, anything. I just mean that you maybe wouldn't. Sorry, I was just impressed by it. It's fine. He just was very proud of when we finally had the ship for me to sign up to after everything. It still wasn't joining the Navy, you know, like he did, but Julian shrugs dismissively and concentrates more on the work again while talking. Finally, his son's becoming a real man at sea. Conway this, Conway that, being trained under a former military officer. Is he mimicking his father's tone dismissively, or do you detect an actual bit of pride in his own accomplishments? How she sailed to India, even the Americas. And I assume you just more or less nodded along? Yes. Will you two get back to it? I didn't realize that I signed up to do the work of you two as well. Julian picked up his pace a little and you follow suit. I guess we should. The three of you make fairly decent progress. It's nothing glamorous, but then it doesn't have to be. You might even feel useful, especially knowing that it's not just busy work. Still, when some movement in your periphery catches your attention, you look over at once, someone is walking towards you. For a fraction of a second, you think it might be Samuel coming back, but the fuzzy silhouette at the corner of your eye, at the corner of your eye is much too tall for that. However, once you look, you realize it's the passenger from yesterday. No Max was his name? Isn't that from yesterday? Julian looks at you to get confirmation that he isn't mixing anyone up, and you nod in return. Yes, appears that he's feeling better today. So no entertainment for us today? That's just mean, Julian. Hey, you gotta admit that was pretty funny. It kinda was, yeah. I'm with the lizard. See, you're just bound to have to live with it if you stick out in some way on a ship like this. Don't I know that? Is that where the wimp moniker comes from? You lift your hand to rub the backside of your head. Look, I remember how there was a commotion shortly before I came up to you two yesterday? That might have been caused by me. Arthur did not appreciate it. Of course. How in the world did you manage that? Oh god. Really? Really, my Liza? How could you say like this, you know? This really scaly? How could you do this to a homeboy like this? You know what that crane they had? I may have stood underneath it. By accident, of course. I just was a little distracted. Can't blame Arthur there. I feel like it might have been you when you waltzed up the gangway a minute later. At least now I have the confirmation. You really are the greenest of greenhorns. And I'm green. Pause. Julian says with a laugh and gives you a playful nudge against the shoulder. Did you prepare at all for this? Not really. I mean, how would I? On a farm? I didn't exactly prepare either, so he's not alone. Yeah, but see, you feel like you just get stuff done. Intimidatingly so, with an air of being an asshole, but you do. Wolf snarled, yet let it petter out into a low, almost imperceptible grumble. Good morning, gentlemen. The voice interrupts the three of you. Whoa, the Rizzler strikes again. Damn, I mean, even on a anthro furry world, I'm still rizzing. My god. What time do you know the main character is? You turn to face him and see the painted dog standing tall next to the three of you. My god, he's taller than both of them. Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. If I'm not mistaken, you're the one I met yesterday, am I correct? He looks down at you with a pleasant smile as you sit up on your knees. Indeed, sir. Are you feeling better today? He nods briefly before looking out at sea. So far, so good. I figured I would try to take in the air as it were. The breeze of the morning, get out of the dank cabin. I believe they call this getting your sea legs, do they not? Something I'm sure you all manage much more gracefully. Thank you again for yesterday. You wave him off with a quick gesture of your hand. Don't mention it. Come the first storm, we'll all be feeling differently, I expect. Julian interjected with a subtle laugh. If it were possible for the painted dog to turn green, you think he might well do so. He certainly doesn't appear to appreciate having that potential scenario brought to his attention. Well, I hope we can avoid those. Who are these two other gentlemen, Mr. Kelly? Your ears perk up as you quickly introduce both Julian and Wolf. This is Julius. Julius and Mr. Big Bad Wolf over here. It's so fucking zesty, man. We're all the new crew, so of course we got settled with this. I see. Well, Julian, Wolf, it has been a pleasure meeting you two as well. However, I do not want to keep you from your work. Pretend I'm not here. Well, I don't think anyone minds a distraction, sir. Well, I don't know about that. Well, Wolf might, but he can just pick up the other side of the deck if it's a problem. Wolf huffs annoyedly, but continues with his work. My apology. Don't mind him. He's just playing it up to be the big bad wolf. All bark, as they say. He's gonna get. Come on, Julian. I just made peace with both of you. What the fuck, man? This guy can't. This guy. You know what? Will you just keep your mouth shut, lizard? See? Julian chuckles confidently. Well, I guess the tone between satyrs is supposed to be rough, so you three have that one down already. Well, that's one way of putting it, yeah. Nomax clearly looks a little uncomfortable in his position, appearing to feel as if he's the one causing the tension between Julian and Wolf. And his solution to it seems to be to shift the conversation in another direction. Oh, did you know we have a piper aboard? I could have sworn I heard one anyway, when I was taking tea. Did you? Imagine that. I did. The March of the British Grenadiers, I believe. You noticed the surprise in Julian's eyes as you realized that Nomax had recognized it. It was, yes. Nomax picks up on the excitement of the lizard as well and managed to put two and two together. Was it you who played it? It's an older piece. I'm surprised that you would know it. I enjoyed your rendition of it. Rather more spirited than they would play it in the army. Yes, well, it's not my fife, it's his. But it was me who played it. The tip of Julian's tail flickers across the deck as he points in Wolf's direction. Two musicians then. He smiles down at Julian. It really was nice to hear. Though an odd choice for you to know how to play, I have to admit. Though I do rather prefer the little bow level march when it comes to marching pieces, if I'm honest. Nothing against your playing, of course. It was quite wonderful. But the little bow level march Little Bulevo March has such an interesting history to it. A rather exquisite dance piece that found its way into the military, written by Henry Purcell 100 years ago. Well, this guy is a library guy, you know? He's a researcher. He had a few other really quite wonderful compositions. The Dido, Ananus, Opera is probably my favorite. Or perhaps King Arthur. Or his ears flick up stiffly as he realized the lack of reply from you or the others. Pardon me, I may have gotten a bit carried away. The painted dog stays for a bit of small talk beyond that, but he seems to have places to be. Or he wants to let you get back to work without the distraction for your own benefit. After his bid you farewell, you get back to scrubbing the deck. The morning wears on slowly until the sound of urgent footsteps draws your attention. I keep forgetting this is a huge... this is a ship, not a huge ship, but it's a ship. You turn to see a sailor running towards you. A more experienced deckhand by the looks of it. Oi! Oh, he's Australian. One of you, we need a hand. The three of you look at one another as if to figure out who needs to go. Wolf shrugs and turns back to his work, having no interest in volunteering. Quick like, eh? Come on now, you do talk, don't ya? You're the first one to speak? Yes, sir. What do you need? You get to your feet as you answer, feeling the tingling in your legs as they finally get proper blood flow again after kneeling down for such a long time. Come along then. Wait, now I sound like an old British folk. Come along then. You got your tits and the crumpets mixed in it. He beckons it towards the ship's interior and immediately starts to move towards it quickly. What the fuck is this? Is this a cook? You hear as you try to catch up, weaving around some of the barrels stored up here and down the stairs. What's going on, sir? Why the hurry? Don't sir me. We're not in the bloody... Don't serve me. We're not in the bloody navy. Come not like you know, like know that. Came on that last stop, didn't you? Yes, sir. Yeah, sorry, I'm new. Yes, is it the main sheet? The sailor stops in his tracks and gives you a questioning look. What do you know about that, laddie? Just said that it was worn. Oh god, guys, I can feel the second-hand internship embarrassment here. I've been there, my man. Your answer doesn't appear to have satisfied his curiosity. Well, another sailor mentioned that it needed mending. I heard that you tried to remember what Julian said, uncertain why the sailor is looking at you the way he is. Because he's gonna be like, I'm pretty sure the sailor is like, what the fuck is this newbie talking about? Does it look like we're on the spanker? On the top of the ship, at the rear end? We're inside we're in the lower deck. With the new sail, the sheets get worn more than usual on the block. Samuel went to go help with that while we were all swabbing the deck, but he went by himself. I didn't go. We trade up realizing how obvious of a statement it is. Anyway, the sailor stares at you for a few seconds. Why would I care about that? I don't care about what you know about the sail. I mean, if you don't even know, I suppose I was lucky of you not to go. Poor bastard. Me? Not you. Samuel. Our surgeon needs someone to help her keep clean water and bandages around and whatever else she needs while she patches him up. He starts walking again, obliging you to follow along. They mentioned that you were free and we needed the experienced crew up top with the spanker reef the way it is. Now someone else has to go fix it and well... I'm pretty sure any of you can fetch water and hold bandages as well as anyone. Your steps leads you down further into the ship, down the stairs from the commons area. Wait, is he hurt? Were you not paying attention? He stops at one of the doors in the dark bowels of the ship. Just get in and Vajia will get you sorted. I'll have to go get the others again. With equally heard steps, he makes his way up the stairs again and leaves you alone in the front of the door. You knock softly on the door, two short taps that are met with a momentary pause before a response rings out. Come in. As you open the door, you step into the cabin and find Samuel seated near the back wall. He leans against the table, his face showing signs of discomfort, but there's also a hint of relief in his expression as he sees you. Samuel manages a faint grin. Hey, thanks for coming. Guess who's gonna have a new scar? He chuckles softly, glad to see Samuel being taken care of. Regia looks up from her work and smiles warmly as you enter. We're just finishing up here. Despite how he acted, Samuel's not really losing his leg. He'll be fine with a few days of rest. How is he doing? Regia finishes wrapping the freshly stitched wound with a bandage. He's tough. Thanks, Mum. But I can speak. It's fine, just a scratch. But you're you, Samuel, and you'd call using both your legs just a scratch. You've been watching too many Monty Pythons. What's Monty Python? Regia turns back to reply to you. He's tough. Not that tough. She emphasizes it and turns to Samuel for a brief tease before she continues on. But it'll take some time for him to fully recover. However, he'll be up and about before long, I'm sure. Is there anything I can do to help? You ask, eager to be of assistance. Rajia glances at a nearby shelf and then back at you. Actually, yes. Can you fetch that bottle from the shelf over there? It will help with the pain. Curious, you retrieve the bottle as instructed and bring it to Rajia. She takes it from you with a grateful smile. Thank you. This should do the trick. Rajia simply takes the bottle and hands it to Samuel. Samuel turns the unmarked bottle in his paws before uncorking it, and to his pleasant surprise, the aroma of rum fills the air. A faint chuckle escapes him. Well, that's a welcome surprise. Always the best part about being sick, Rajia. They really know how to treat a weary sailor well. The main wolf tips the bottle back for a long sip, almost immediately looking much better than he'd been a minute ago. You know, Sam, these stories about rowdy sailors who live for nothing but grog and chasing women. Samuel lifts the bottle away from his lips and tips his head to the side. What about him? Somehow you managed to take all those boxes and none of them at the same time. Well, I wouldn't chase you, first of all. You'll just leave me trailing a mile behind in a heartbeat. Darn cheetahs. She couldn't help but chuckle. And the rum? I have to play up my toughness for the greenhorn there, don't I? Do ya? Maybe a little bit, but it's been fine so far. Try my best. Appreciate the rum either way, though. You're welcome. Just don't overdo it, okay? Pierce down half a bottle and looked like a wreck yesterday. He did sleep pretty firmly, though. The hangover couldn't have been that bad then. Are you sure he had one? And it wasn't just because, his hands all fucked up as his head. Samuel waves off the concerns with a brief flick of the wrist. He did, in fact, mention it. As Rajay continues to chat with Samuel, you take a moment to observe the surroundings. The cabin is well organized with shelves of various ingredients and tools neatly arranged. It's clear that Rajay is well prepared for her work. You should be returned to your duties, no? New as you are, you won't be getting much leeway during Arthur's shift. The cheetah's words jolt you from your thoughts. You immediately frown despite knowing that Rajay is correct. Rajay purses her lips in thought before simply shrugging. That's fine, just know it's your choice if you're questioned about it. You can always tell them you were helping out though. I'll do you a small favor this one time. The cheetah's smile is warm and inviting, almost motherly. Just a few minutes though, he's fine now, but he does need his rest. I'll get plenty soon enough. Samuel chimes in, punctuating his words with another swig of rum. Didn't I just say something about that, Sam? Oh come on, you just said how well Paris was sleeping. I'm just going after my idols. Paris, your idol? Last I heard, you two don't even get along well. Well, I just made up with him. Maybe you should bring me another bottle. Who knows which other broken friendships will get mended. I have to account for those, The cheetah points at the bottle in Samuel's paw. But I don't think the captain's going to appreciate me getting half his crew blackout drunk. First of all, we haven't really seen the captain. Only the first officer. Second in command, pretty much. Arthur. Rajia rolls her eyes but says nothing else, giving you space to chat for now. I think one bottle will be enough, Sam. Though if the boredom gets too bad, I can always help you hobble up deck side, just let me know. A little rest will do me good, I suppose. Been meaning to find time for a break. Would have been better if it didn't include harming my pristine fur. You feel warmth in your snout as the main wolf winks at you over his bottle of rum. But you should get going, she's right, Don't want to slack off too much. Making a good impression now will pay off in the long run, I promise. He's right, but that doesn't mean you want to leave, still. With only a bit of hesitation, you nod your head and move to the door. I'll come check on you later, and thanks for taking care of him, Rajia. The main wolf raises his bottle and toasts to your departure, causing the cheetah to shake her head with a laugh. Of course, it's my job after all. Take care, and if you need help with a tour later, I might have some time to show you around. Leaving Rajia's quarters, you send the narrow stairs back to the bustling deck. The salty breeze hits your face, immediately helping to ease the lingering tension that had been building up inside. Building up inside, save me. As your eyes adjust to the sunlight, you spot Wolf and Julian a short distance away. Wolf is leaning against the ship's railing, his arms crossed and his gaze fixed on the horizon. Julian stands nearby, fidgeting with a piece of rope. As you approach, Julian notices you first and gives you an enthusiastic wave. Hey, how'd it go down there? Is Samuel gonna be alright? Wolf shifts his gaze towards you, his expression guarded. Yeah, what's the news? You offer a nod, acknowledging their curiosity. You know about it already? News travels fast on a tightly packed ship, and even as the new guys, it's difficult not to hear it if something's off. Well, so far so good. Sam's not in danger as far as I can tell at least. It could have been much worse, and Raji is taking good care of him. They both stare at you questioningly before Wolf nods his head, already piecing together the information. Julian, on the other hand, seems to have trouble furrowing his brow. Seems to have trouble furrowing his brow before finally speaking up. Raji, who? Oh wait, probably someone patching him up, right? You look at the lizard with a confounded look across her features. You've already forgotten? Yesterday, dinner. You reach with your hand out and give Julian a playful smack on his forehead, which causes him to take a step back and recoil. Cheetah, tail. Cheetah, tall, ship surgeon, having me in tow, getting... Hey, yes, I remember, no need for physical violence. Ready to get your mind off the morning events? You're quick to change the subject. You move up to close to Wolf, giving him a pat on the shoulder. So, how was Dex scrubbing duty? Julian here seems to have survived. Wolf's lips twitch into something resembling a smirk. Barely. He got close to me, throwing him overboard once or twice. But survive is the right word for it. He was practically dead as soon as you left. We still got plenty more wood to polish at a later time. I'm sure you know all about polishing wood, eh? This cheeky bastard is gonna get his fucking lip smack gobbled, you know what I'm saying? That, of course, was a phrase Julian couldn't just let slide by. Oh my god. Lord have mercy. We're gonna get killed here. You remark, a playful glint in your eyes as you turn your attention to Wolf. Oh, do I now? You've got quite the imagination. It's what my dad always said about me. A very imaginative boy. Well, you can sure leave me out of your wild imaginations. Julian chuckles at your exchange, clearly entertained by the back and forth. It looks like we've got some quality entertainment on this ship. The faint grin on Wolf's face vanishes as quickly as it appeared. With a snort, he reaches out and gives Julian a light slap on the back of the head. Less talk and more work. Did I put the target on my back today, or why are you all hitting me? We still got more to do, and the sooner we're done, the sooner I can ditch you for some peace and quiet. But maybe you didn't keep smacking me, I wouldn't get dazed and could actually concentrate on working. Ever had that thought? Before you can chime in on the lizard's charming lack of work ethic, Julian pipes up again. Oh, I almost forgot. He glances to the side at Wolf and quickly corrects himself. We almost forgot. Speaking of getting beaten up, Arthur came stomping out here really grumpy and pleasant. Thought he was gonna throw me overboard, I swear. Ended up telling us to let you know to report to him at the helm. Oh god! Yo, he's gonna kill us! No, he's actually gonna kill us, my man. He's gonna absolutely kill me. What the fuck? Fun talk with the officer, huh? Someone's getting special treatment. Hopefully it won't be too special. It hasn't been the smoothest time with him for me so far. But in any case, thanks for the heads up. I guess I better just get it out of the way now, shouldn't I? Or jump overboard. Might have a higher chance of surviving, swimming, finding an island. Wolf's eyes soften and his lips twitch. His teasing almost appears like a threat. He's got a point. When was the last time you fully bathed? But no, don't wait. You get in trouble, we're gonna get in trouble, and I'm not ready for that. That hard stare from you today was more than enough for me. Oh my god, they're just gonna break my neck! You roll your eyes and step away from the railing. With a casual wave of your shoulder, you leave the two of them behind and begins making your way along the length of the ship's deck towards the helm. We're gonna die, aren't we? We're gonna get a fuck. Oh god, we can't even explain ourselves, because pretty much it's the same with any if you have a job and you have a superior officer or manager, whoever's above you, you can't really talk back. You just have to nod in agreement unless they specifically ask you to explain yourself in detail. If they don't tell you that, you're just gonna get chewed out. Just gotta have to take it. Like a bitch. The rhythmic creaking of the ship's structure beneath you and the distant sounds of waves crashing against the hull meld with the sounds of various crew activities happening around you. A gentle reminder that ship life goes on regardless of your own personal story. It's a comforting thought, one that helps ease the nervousness building in your belly as you approach the helm. Nearing your destination, you notice Arthur standing there, his gaze fixed out to the sea. The wind tugs at his coat and hair, giving him a fitting air of authority and sternness. He looked all the part of the officer that he was. Mr. Kelly? Or dead. Arthur calls out, his deep voice carrying over the sounds of the ship. You glance up and meet his gaze, feeling a slight nervousness that wells up within you. Making your way up the steps of the helm, you stand beside the towering figure of the horse. Sir? You respond, giving a respectful nod. Arthur's eyes shift from the horizon to you, his expression is serious. I was told you were checking on Samuel. Was he doing well? Yes, sir. You confirm, wanting to give a straightforward answer. A flicker of emotion crosses Arthur's face, a hint of sadness in his eyes. Good. Samuel's a valuable member of this crew. It saddens me to see him hurt. You offer a sympathetic nod, acknowledging his sentiment. But... oh god. Arthur's voice turns sharper and he turns to... oh god, to fully face you. I can't help but wonder about the circumstances of his injury. This... it feels different. Wait, what? Confusion tugs at your features as Arthur's tone shifts. The different, sir? The horse offers nothing but a sigh at your question. Instead of answering, Arthur makes a motion for you to follow him, leading the way down from the helm and toward the edge of the ship, providing a modicum of privacy for the conversation. Oh, interesting. Different. He emphasizes, after a quick check to be sure no crew member was listening in. I'll be to the point, Mr. Kelly. You were not present during the incident today, correct? You shift uncomfortably at the question, glancing momentarily to the side before finding Arthur's gaze with your own. Yes, sir. I was attending to my own duties at the time and only heard about it later. The horse nods, his lips twitching faintly at the side, a hint of something unreadable. Oh, it's a conspiracy! Unreadable, crossing his otherwise stoic expression. I see. I'll be honest, Mr. Kelly. It isn't every day that the seasoned veteran of my crew is injured so easily. I understand accidents, but I don't believe Samuel wanted to make such a simple mistake. Arthur pauses long enough for his words to sink in. Humor me, would you? What exactly were you doing at the time of the incident? Yeah, I was assisting me and Julian and Mr. Wolf. Arthur's expression doesn't seem to change. He's silent for a moment of thought, stern gaze locked directly with yours. Of course, I assume Wolf and Julian will vouch for you. It's rather difficult to trust the word of those that haven't proven themselves yet. Wouldn't you agree? This motherfucker. Oh my god, if there was an option, if this was not a visual novel and this was like some kind of like Assassin's Creed game or Hitman game, I'll be pushing this son of a bitch off the ship, my man. What is it with you riding on my coattails here? Jesus. Julian and Wolf might be new, sir, but they're giving it their all. I am too. They were working hard and I believe they'd confirm my presence there. Arthur's brow furrows slightly, his suspicious demeanor intensifying momentarily. You have a lot of faith in them for someone who's only been here a day. That's true, sir, but trust has to start somewhere. You can help but put emphasis on those last words as you meet the officer's gaze without flinching. Honestly, I would prefer to keep my head down and do my part. If there's a misunderstanding, I'm more than happy to clear it up, sir. Have I done something wrong? Ooh! Balls! What you got, big man? Big horse? You gonna whip out your fucking, 15-inch cock, huh? You horse cock? Huh? Pucker up, Mr. Plank in, freaking plank in your tight ass? The horse's gaze finally softens, eyes drifting away from your feline features and out towards the water. You've done nothing yet, recruit. I keep a tight ship and I make sure every angle is covered when an incident occurs. I'm just covering one of those angles now. Arthur gives you one last look, his eyes studying your demeanor as you're trying to glean something deeper. It's a practiced gaze, one that hints at his experience in evaluating people. The stern atmosphere is broken by his next words. That's all for now. If I have more questions, I will find you. Now I believe you have an assigned duty to return to. If not, return to Julian and Wolf and help them. I'm sure another set of hands would be appreciated. Regardless of the situation, I want you to know that I take the safety of this crew seriously. Well, yeah. Arthur's voice carries a note of stern authority. Wow. Keep your focus on your duties and we won't have any issues. Now get back to your work. His words hang in the air for a moment, a weighty reminder of the expectations thrust upon you the moment you came aboard. As Arthur turns to return to his post, you're left with a swirling ache in the pit of your belly. With a sigh, you steel yourself to heed Arthur's advice and return to your duties. Determined to keep your focus and prove your dedication, return away from your view of Arthur, retaking his spot at the helm and head back across the deck. Guys, ladies and gentlemen, I'm gonna end this video right here. Hopefully you want me to continue this story more, but I'll still continue it without you. liking it or not. So that's why I would say you can like the video, comment, or subscribe if you're new. Or you could also, if you're not new or you're new, old, whatever, you have a comment, your opinion, like, God, man, I don't like this visual novel, man. But that's your opinion. We'll agree to disagree, but I won't argue you over it. You know, it's like watching a movie. It's like, yeah, you can say this is not your thing. That's okay. See ya. Good luck on whatever you're doing. IRL. Bye.